The Metropolitan Museum's annual gala sparkled with old money and older art. Crystal chandeliers cast golden light over evening gowns and tuxedos as Manhattan's elite gathered to celebrate the museum's newest wing. I adjusted my simple black dress, designer, though you'd never know it, and watched my sister Victoria hold court near the Monet. "The renovations are simply divine," she gushed to her socialite friends, champagne flute waving. "Daddy's donation last year really spurred things along." I moved through the crowd quietly, observing. My hair was pulled back in a simple chignon, my makeup minimal. To them I blended in with the catering staff, exactly as planned. "Oh, Emma." Victoria's voice cut through the murmur of conversation. "Be a dear and fetch me another champagne." I turned slowly, meeting her smug smile. Behind her, our mother Catherine adjusted her signature pearls, looking anywhere but at me. "I'm not serving tonight, Victoria." "No." She raised a perfectly groomed eyebrow. "Then why are you dressed like the help? Though I suppose it fits. How's that little art gallery of yours? Still selling tourist sketches?" Mother's social circle tittered politely. I checked my vintage Cartier watch, a piece Victoria had dismissed as obviously fake last Christmas. "The gallery's doing well, actually." "Of course it is, dear," Mother finally spoke, patting my arm condescendingly. "We all need hobbies." "Speaking of hobbies," Victoria continued, "have you heard about my foundation's latest acquisition? We're in talks to fund a new museum wing." I hid my smile behind my water glass. "How interesting." "Yes, well, some of us understand the importance of proper patronage." Victoria gestured expansively. "This isn't some little storefront gallery selling postcards to tourists." The museum director approached the podium, tapping the microphone. Victoria straightened her Dior gown, preening. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "tonight we celebrate a historic moment in our institution's history." "This must be about Victoria's donation," Mother whispered loudly. "We are honored to unveil our newest addition, a wing that will revolutionize modern art exhibition space. 4 months, we've kept the identity of our mysterious benefactor secret." Victoria stepped forward slightly, smoothing her hair. "Tonight, we finally reveal the visionary behind the $100 million donation that has transformed our museum." Mother's pearls clinked as she nodded proudly. "Please welcome the founder of Winter Light Galleries, the youngest major patron in our museum's history, Ms. Emma Winters." The spotlight swung to me. Victoria's champagne flute slipped from her fingers, shattering on the marble floor. Mother's pearl necklace snapped, sending beads scattering across the polished stone. I stepped onto the podium, finally allowing myself to stand straight, shoulders back. "Thank you, Director Phillips. As the owner of Winter Light Galleries, now the largest private art dealer in North America, I'm honored to share my collection with the public." The silence from my family's corner was deafening. Victoria's mouth opened and closed wordlessly. "That little tourist gallery?" I continued, meeting her eyes. "Actually a front for the largest private art acquisition firm on the East Coast. Those postcards? Original Basquiat's, Kahlo's, and yes, Victoria, even that Monet you're standing next to." Mother's hand flew to her throat, finding only the broken string of pearls. "Now," I smiled at the assembled crowd, "shall we unveil the wing?" I believe my sister was just saying something about proper patronage. The night was young and I had 5 years of patronizing comments to repay, with interest. The unveiling ceremony proceeded with the precision of a perfectly choreographed ballet. As the curtains dropped to reveal the Winter Light Wing's entrance, gasps echoed through the hall. The modernist glass structure seamlessly merged with the museum's classical architecture, housing my carefully curated collection within. Victoria hadn't moved from her spot, her designer heels crunching on the broken glass of her champagne flute. Mother had collapsed into a nearby chair, frantically gathering her scattered pearls. "As you can see," I continued from the podium, "the wing features a revolutionary lighting system that adapts to each piece's optimal viewing conditions." I gestured to the smart glass panels that shifted subtly with the evening light. "Much like the lighting system I developed for my little tourist gallery." Director Phillips beamed beside me. "Ms. Winters has also arranged for several pieces previously thought lost to join our permanent collection." "Lost?" Victoria finally found her voice. "What lost pieces?" I nodded to the curator who unveiled the centerpiece of the main hall. Mother's remaining pearls slipped from her grasp. The lost Vermeer, I said simply. The one Dad always talked about wanting to find. I acquired it 3 years ago while you were all mocking my hobby. Impossible, Mother whispered. That painting's been missing for decades. Along with the early Picasso in the East Wing, and the previously unknown O'Keeffe in the Garden Gallery. I stepped down from the podium, my Louboutins clicking on the marble. Amazing what you can accomplish when your family underestimates you so completely that they never bother to actually visit your gallery. The crowd began to move through the new wing, exclaiming over each revelation. Victoria's society friends, who had been laughing at me minutes earlier, now avoided her eyes as they rushed to introduce themselves to me. But, the funding, Victoria sputtered. Daddy's donation last year was returned, I finished for her. Along with a polite letter declining his offer. Check your foundation's accounts. I believe you'll find the money back in your budget untouched. Director Phillips appeared at my elbow. Ms. Winters, the Times art critic, would love a word. In a moment, I smiled. Family first, after all. Mother finally stood, her composure cracking. Why didn't you tell us? Tell you. I laughed softly. Like you told me about the family trust? The one you diverted entirely to Victoria because art isn't a real career? Victoria paled. You know about that? I know everything, sister dear. Including how your foundation has been overpaying for mediocre pieces while overlooking genuine masterpieces. Proper patronage indeed. The curator approached with a group of international collectors, all eager to meet the mysterious new patron. I could see the dollar signs reflecting in Victoria's eyes as she realized the connections she'd lost. If you'll excuse me, I said, straightening my simple dress. Actually a one-of-a-kind Valentino. I believe these gentlemen want to discuss the upcoming auction season. Victoria, you might want to check your foundation's bidding privileges. I hear they've been temporarily suspended. As I walked away, I heard Mother whisper, "What does she mean, suspended?" Oh, I turned back. Didn't I mention? Winter Light Galleries now controls the majority of high-end auction access in New York. We're very selective about who gets to bid. I paused thoughtfully. I believe there's a lovely poster shop downtown that might be more your speed, Victoria. The sound of another champagne glass shattering followed me as I joined the collectors, leaving my family to digest their new reality among the masterpieces they'd never recognized, including me. As the evening drew to a close, I stood in the center of my wing, watching the last guests filter out. The smart glass panels had dimmed to a subtle twilight glow, casting artistic shadows across the marble floors. Only my family remained, looking lost among the priceless artworks they'd failed to appreciate for years. Ms. Winters, my assistant Claire approached, tablet in hand. Tomorrow's schedule includes breakfast with the Guggenheim board, followed by the auction house merger announcement. Merger? Victoria's head snapped up. What merger? I smiled, taking the tablet. Winter Light Galleries is acquiring Ashworth & Sons Auction House. You know, the one your foundation relies on for all its acquisitions. Mother sank onto a museum bench, clutching her broken pearl necklace. But that's the most prestigious. Was the most prestigious, I corrected. Under my leadership it will be completely modernized. New bidding systems, stricter authentication protocols, more exclusive membership requirements. Requirements we won't meet, Victoria whispered, finally understanding. Precisely. I signed the digital documents Claire presented. Consider it karma for all those times you called my gallery a quaint little shop. The museum director returned, practically bouncing with excitement. Ms. Winters, the initial visitor numbers are extraordinary. Your wing has already generated more press than any exhibition in our history. Wonderful, I replied. Please ensure my family receives their new membership cards. New cards? Mother asked faintly. Yes, you've been upgraded to patron-level access. I paused. Though of course you'll need my personal approval for any event attendance. We wouldn't want another misunderstanding about who's staff and who isn't. Victoria flinched at the reminder of her earlier mistake. The Rockefellers are particularly interested in your contemporary collection, the director continued. They've requested a private viewing. The Rockefellers? Mother stood suddenly. But they've been our family friends for decades. And now they're my business partners, I finished. Along with half of your social circle. Amazing how quickly allegiances shift when real power emerges. Claire cleared her throat. The car's ready for the after-party at Soho House. The major collectors are waiting. Perfect. I gathered my clutch, a rare vintage piece worth more than Victoria's entire wardrobe. Oh, and Victoria? About your foundation's upcoming fundraiser. She looked up hopefully. Don't bother. I've already acquired the venue. In fact, I checked my watch. The new ownership papers should be filing right about now. Her phone buzzed on cue. She read the message, face draining of color. You can't just. She started. Can't just what? Build an empire while you weren't looking? Buy out your social circle? Transform the art world you thought you ruled? I moved toward the exit. I believe I just did. Emma, wait, Mother called. We're still family. I turned at the doorway, the evening lights casting my shadow long across the marble floor. Yes, we are. And families should support each other, shouldn't they? Like you supported my hobby? The security guards appeared, ready to lock up for the night. The wing opens to the public tomorrow, I said. Feel free to visit during regular hours. With proper tickets, of course. I smiled. I hear there's quite a waiting list. As I walked out through my wing, my name emblazoned in gold letters above the entrance, I heard Victoria's last desperate whisper. What do we do now? The answer echoed off the marble walls. Nothing. They could do nothing but watch as the sister they'd underestimated transformed their world, one masterpiece at a time. In my car, Claire handed me tomorrow's schedule. The Times interview is at 9, followed by the auction house announcement. Your sister's foundation board is requesting an urgent meeting. Schedule them for next month, I said, watching the museum fade into the night. I believe they need time to adjust to their new reality. The car pulled away, leaving behind the old power structure and carrying me toward the empire I'd built from their mockery. Tomorrow would bring new acquisitions, new transformations, new victories. But tonight I savored the masterpiece 5 years in the making. The look on their faces when they realized the help they'd dismissed now held the keys to their kingdom. After all, revenge, like art, is best served with perfect lighting.